What goes through my mind as I'm painting starts out as sort of like a problem solving, where you're trying to figure out what you're doing and what pieces you're working with, or what to do with some blank space, what color might start with or something. But it's a calm, analytical kind of approach. And then once it begins to take shape and begins to take form, what happens inside me is I get excited. I find myself sometimes rubbing my hands together when I finish something that I really like, or backing away and looking at it, or trying to turn it upside down and saying, wow. And then I try to create a feeling. What I feel in me, I want to be able to create in others. The process I used in order to do that really comes from taking either something that I see in my mind's eye, if you will, and just start creating on a blank slate on the computer, or I might use a photograph and take that photograph and begin to morph that image into what I'm seeing in my head as opposed to what it actually physically is. That becomes sort of the underpinning. After that, the second phase is to get it printed. I then begin to hand paint it and do strokes. I may use oil, I may use acrylic, I may use a combination of ink and acrylic, etc., so that I end up creating a unique product. I do have several genres, if you will, if I paint it. I paint abstracts, portraits, landscapes, and part of landscapes becomes wildlife. So I sort of have those four major categories that I do something in. And each one of them I get something out of that's pretty unique. I love to do abstracts. I love to just start, and I only start with something in my mind that's like bold or bright or splashy or subtle and very integrated in some way in terms thinking mostly of color. And then I start, and those colors just come to me almost unconsciously when I put them together. When I deal with portraits or landscapes, I'm really doing some of the same things with color and shape, but I'm also thinking about the subject area. What's the story behind this lone tree standing in the middle of nowhere? I think that I want to impact in a positive way people's feelings and excitement. I want to deal both with their intellect and their emotions. I want them to see something and like it and get excited emotionally about what they see, but at the same time I want to attract them in terms of that the painting may intrigue them to say, how did he actually do that? What's the story behind that? And most of what I try and paint today leaves room for a backstory in some way, and that's what I hope to be able to do, to impact people's view of that and make it become something that they really feel connected to in some way. And then when you see it in somebody's home or something and they proudly display it, it gives you a pretty cool feeling that, that you created that.